Good morning and welcome to another episode of Sports Spring on Western Spring Television. My name is Joseph ATEWEH saying good morning and welcome.
And I am NENGI ERNEST-ADEMOLA. Thanks for joining us on the Friday edition of Sports Spring on Western Spring Television, the very last installment for the week. And definitely we have a whole lot in stock for you guys this morning, starting from updates concerning the NFF and the Super Falcons, and of course the reps as it concerns the paid bonuses of the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Aside from that, we'll definitely travel to Hungary, Budapest, and talk about how the hopes of Nigeria on getting a medal in the current ongoing World Athletics Championship has dimmed off since Tobiloba Amusan could not fetch us anyone. Now, all of this and more is what we're discussing this morning. Welcome on board once again. But then, as usual, we'll start from the locals in NENGI. Absolutely. And let's talk about the NFF, that's the Football Federation of Nigeria, the reps, and of course, the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Now, the Nigerian Football Federation has said that it is no longer owing the senior female football team, popularly known as the Super Falcons. The NFF president, Ibrahim Gusau, made this known on Thursday in Abuja while appearing before the House ad hoc committee after being summoned. The committee was also told that the NFF had, as of last week Friday, the Super Falcons has been paid the match bonuses and allowances owed them. And when the chairman of the ad hoc committee, Blessing Oni, made further inquiries regarding unpaid allowances for the Super Falcons in the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup, Gusau also explained that no funding was released for the participation, but revealed that in the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, hosted by Australia and New Zealand, $960,000 was given to all 32 countries that qualified. So that's the update we're getting from the Punch newspaper. And aside from that, there's also a follow-up update as it concerns the paid bonuses. Now, recall I just said that the NFF president Ibrahim Gusau said that these bonuses have been paid to the Super Falcons. But then Blessing Onu, the chairperson of the House of Representatives ad hoc committee on the financial disputes between the Falcons and the Nigerian Football Federation, has ordered the football body to produce payment slips for players and officials of the women's national team at the 2019 Women's World Cup in France. She made this known also in Abuja on Thursday while quizzing the NFF president Ibrahim Gusau, who appeared before the committee. Onu also said that documents of how the Falcons were funded at the 2019 Women's World Cup, the breakdown of match bonuses and payment slips for 23 players and the coach crew be provided by the NFF before August 30th. And also responding that from the NFF president, Gusau said no funding was released again for participation, adding that at the 2023 Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, $960,000 was given to all 32 countries that qualified. So, Joseph, what we are currently getting, as reported by the Punch newspaper, is that these girls have been paid. Well, they have been paid, and it's been 24 hours since that statement was made by the NFF president. And if there's anything contrary to that, I'm sure they must have come out to debunk that. And it's a good one that the House of Representatives have waved into this one and has ordered that they bring was a pay slip, and I'm sure that will be provided and not need to be tendered physically, which can also be sent to the House. But then we don't want a repeat of this where these players have been held for a very long time, and that is something they have to look into. But once again, what we've been clamoring for has been done, which is the girls, and that's the Super Falcons being paid their match bonuses till date, and that's a good one coming from the NFL. But these things will have to be consistent if they really want it to work here. Absolutely. Now, moving away from that one, but then still focusing on the Super Falcons of Nigeria. I remember, of course, during last week, I think it was last week, Joseph, where the FIFA rankings were released and Nigeria was placed 10th in the world, which means that it was because of our very phenomenal performance, most especially in the group stages and the round of 16 of the just concluded 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. And not just that, but we also understand that FC Rosengard and Super Falcons central midfielder Halimatu Ibrahim Ayinde has been named among the Sun's 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup Best 11, following her astute performance for Nigeria at the 9th Women's Mundial in Australia and New Zealand. Halimatu, who is 28 years old, was recognized for her solid positioning and composure in the middle of the pack through the campaign, notably in the Super Falcons round of 16 clash against Lauren James of England, when she was marked when she was marked out and frustrated by Ayinde to the tune of getting sent off. And despite missing the tournament's opener against Canada due to an outstanding suspension from last year's ALCON, Ayinde stepped up to the podium in the following game against co-host Australia as she held up her end of the bargain beside teammate Christy Uchebe, who also was solid in the midfield. So congratulations right there to Halimatu Ayinde. She has been added to the Suns 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup Best 11. And
just to add to the achievements of some of these girls, they just concluded the FIFA Women's World Cup. Yeah. We also know that one of the girls have joined up with a club, a new club rather. She's been signed to a new club.
Absolutely.
And we talked about this after the competition, that one thing these girls have done for themselves is that they will attract better clubs to come sign them. I mean, they started happening. One of them joined Juventus of recent. Yeah. We hear one is on the way to Nottingham Forest. So there's a lot of things happening for these girls.
And you know, an update are coming from just the angle of these girls is the fact that one of the defenders, that's Ashley Plumpter, is also willing to sign for Manchester United ladies, but not yet confirmed. Would follow that one closely and see how it pans out for them. But as it concerns details concerning Osinachi Ohiale, let's give you that. Now, Nigerian Super Falcons center defender Osinachi Ohiale has joined Mexican side Pachuca CF following an impressive performance in the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. Now, the experienced defender was with Spanish side Alaves last season before starring for the Super Falcons in the FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, where she featured in all 4 games for Randy Waldrum-led team that reached the round of 16 in the tournament. Ohiale formed a solid partnership with young defender Tosin Demeyi, with Nigerian conceding just twice, and she also scored the winner against Australia in the group stage. And of course, her standout performance has earned Ohiale a move to Liga MX Femenil club, that's Pachuca CF, after the tournament. Well, congratulations to her, and I think would get to see more of signings as it concerns some of the Super Falcons girls.
All right, away from that, let's talk about the NPFL and their focus on what they want right now. They spoke extensively about in-depthness, and they want a way forward. And one of the key members of that board that sat was Godwin Nagana. Of course, and one thing they're saying is that they want in-depthness, Nengi.
Absolutely. And as it pertains that one, rather, we know that the Nigerian Premier Football League clubs that are found to be indebted to players and or club officials stand the risk of not being allowed to complete their registration for the 2023 and 2024 season. That is how it stands. And recall that the season was supposed to start this month of August, but it was pushed up to start in the month of September. And also recall that we're looking forward to the annual general meeting of the NPFL, and that is the same day, that's August 29th, and that is the same day that they're going to also have to do the draws for the new season. And in a memo titled Re-Financial Requirements of Club Licensing Regulations, the Chief Operating Officer of the NPFL board, that's David Sinowumi, reminded the respective leadership of the 20 clubs of an earlier memo on the subject and declared that provisions of the club licensing regulations would be applied henceforth. I think all of this is just for us to get a better atmosphere and for us to get a smooth running and more developed league.
Well, there's more updates on the local scene here where I struggle to get stories. We should know that some updates are here, and that's concerning the CAF Champions League and the fixtures are up. But then this says Remo Stars forward Isaac James has expressed optimism over his side's chance of qualifying for the next round ahead of Ghanaian side Medema FC in the CAF Champions League preliminary round on Sunday at the Remo Stars Stadium in Ikenne. The Delta-born forward, who featured for the Sky Blue Stars in the 1-0 first leg defeat to Medema FC last Sunday at the Cape Coast Stadium, Accra, added that all players are focused on the task at hand. Now, while speaking in an exclusive interview with reporters ahead of the encounter on a Sunday, Isaac revealed that the team will give a positive performance to make sure that they win the game and qualify for the next round.
Well, I think it's going to be an eventful weekend as far as the CAF Confederation Cup and CAF Champions League will be on this Sunday. We'll be having the reverse legs, the reverse fixtures for the CAF Confederation Cup and CAF Champions League. Not also forgetting the Women's Champions League, also inclusive, where Delta Queens are already up and running and are into the semi-finals of that particular WAFU B League playoff. We also know that, what's their name now? Bendel Insurance, of course, they should have landed in Algiers for their reverse fixture against Aso Schlef, and the very first one, they won 1-0 in their favor, and we're hoping that they will be able to gather all 3 points this time around. For Eyimba also, I think they're also preparing for them. They lost 4-3 in the very first leg, and the reverse fixture is expected to be better. So we're wishing them all the best across all levels, across all of them participating in the CAF Confederation Cup as well as the CAF Champions League. Don't
forget that Remo Stars will be at home at the Remo Stars Stadium, and that is in Ijebu there. And they
I think Eyimba too will be at home.
They're confident that they would get the job done. So this weekend we'll know where we stand as far as that is concerned. Now, from the NPFL clubs, let's talk about the NNL. The demands suitable match routine, and that is what they're asking for, something favorable.
Absolutely. Now, Joseph, I think we even had to talk to the CEO, that's a new CEO of the NNL. Of course, there was a new board inaugurated, I think sometime earlier this month, if I'm not mistaken, right here. But then let's give you update as it concerns the fact that the NNL board are demanding suitable match venues for clubs ahead of the new season. Now, as the new 2023 and 2024 season beckons, the Nigerian National League, that is the NNL, has requested participating clubs to submit preferred and alternative stadiums for their home matches. The NNL directive is that all 40 participating teams for the new season have until next week to comply with the instruction. The Chief Operational Officer of the NNL, Mr. Emmanuel Adesonya, while speaking to NNL media, said the stadiums must reflect required standards as spelled out in the rule book of the league. And Adesonya also explained that requirements like good dressing rooms with toilets, showers and bathing facilities with recovery areas, good playing pitch, safety and security are key. And other requirements are perimeter fencing, adequate media and medical facilities. He, however, disclosed that clubs have been sent circulars in this regard, and any of the facility which falls short of the required demands will not be approved. And all this, like I said earlier on, is for the betterment and development when it comes to the NNL and across all leagues also.
And away from football, Team Nigeria's women's volleyball team ended their journey in the African Volleyball Championship in Yaoundé, Cameroon, with a defeat. The Nigerian side started the competition on an impressive note and reached the knockout round after recording 2 wins and 2 defeats in the group stage matches. They lost to Kenya in the quarterfinal and crashed out of the medal zone, but still classification games are to fall back on. They won their first classification game against Morocco 3-0, and that was on Wednesday. But the final classification match on Thursday ended in a 3-1 defeat to Algeria. The North Africans dominated the game and clinched the first 2 quarters, 25-18, 25-13, but Nigeria came back strong in the third quarter with a win over 23-25. Algeria claimed the 4th set with a 25-17 win to finish in the 5th position, as Team Nigeria ended their campaign in 6th position.
Well, guys, still sticking with the world of unlimited sports as it concerns Nigeria's participation. Recall when we started the show, I told you for sure that the 19th edition of the World Athletics Championship right there in Hungary, Budapest, is currently ongoing. So far, so good. Nigeria has not been able to get any medal. And the only hope we had to be able to get either a gold, silver, or bronze medal, of course, that particular hope has been dimmed off. Now, let's give you details as it concerns Tobiloba Amuson's race last night at the hour of 8:22 p.m. Nigerian time. Now, Tobi Amuson could not come to the rescue of Team Nigeria Thursday evening, finishing 6th in the final of the women's 100-meter hurdles, and 2 other Nigerian athletes had lost out in the semi-finals of their 200 meters event. And of course, when you get to hear about the 200 meters event, whether for male or female, the names like Favor Ofili and Alaba Kintola would definitely come to your mind. But all we're saying is Tobiloba finished 6th, and of course, Favor Ofili and Akintola also lost in their 200 meters. Now, Toby Express had a slow start and could not recover. She ran 12.62 seconds to place sixth in a race won by Jamaica's Danielle Williams in 12.43 seconds. America's Kendra Harrison was third in 12.44 seconds, while her compatriot Nia Ali finished fourth, 12.46 seconds. Amusa had made her third straight final in the 100 meters hurdle of the World Athletics Championship on Wednesday to raise Nigeria's medals hope. And on her way to the final on Wednesday, Amusa came from behind to win in 12.56 seconds. But it was the same approach on Thursday's final, but it failed for her by this time Thursday. And Joseph, I think we saw the signs earlier on as it concerns Amusa. Owing to the fact that she ran 12.50 something, 12.40 something, while our other compatriots were busy trying to make their seconds, their timing better at this point in time. But it was not a disgraceful performance at all. Look,
finishing sixth for a world champion like Toby should be questioned. And what really happened? You actually stated the right thing that she started slowly. If you saw that race, which we'll definitely see later on as the show progresses, but then I'm saying that she started slowly and
she could not recover.
Very unlucky too. The lineup where she had Camacho Queen was also disappointed for coming second. You know, the Jamaican who came last the last time she ran with Toby, you know, came first, and that means that all these athletes are improving. But I believe that she will take the positives from this and go back and see what she can do. But to be honest, for an athlete of that caliber, finishing sixth, it's not a good one. This is an athlete she defeated at the Diamond League. So what went wrong? She started slowly. That was what went wrong.
But you know, Joseph, at this point in time, I feel like the off-field event actually took off her mind from this particular competition for a while. So, you know, coming into the competition, I mean, getting hold of her training and all of that, I feel she just had that boldness to be able to come out once again. I think there was a particular journalist who was questioning her about being cleared and all of that. And, you know, she had to, she was very furious at this particular journalist and all of that. So I feel that also came to play a particular role as it concerns her this time around. But then definitely we have other Diamond Leagues. We have the World Athletics Championship. And we do hope that she falls back into her rightful place.
Definitely. And this is Ghana Athletics Association has announced its withdrawal from the 4x100 meters men's relay in the 2023 World Athletics Championship in Budapest. The athletics body released a statement concerning its withdrawal from the event, citing injuries as the reason for its action. The body confirmed that the duo of Joseph Paul Amour and James Dazi were injured and would not recover in time for the race. All
right, guys, that's it for the first half of the show. We just traveled to Hungary, Budapest, to bring you all of the details as it concerns Nigerians' participation in that one. Recall, we also talked about the NPFL. Recall, we also talked about the NFF, the Super Falcons, and of course the reps and how these girls have been paid their bonuses. And I would go on a very quick break and we'll take you across all major leagues of football where matches were played both on Thursday and on Wednesday. One of them has to be Aston Villa. Would also get to hear from Unai Emery when we come back.
McGinn, it's left for Luca Dean. Good looking delivery in towards Ollie Watkins, 1-0 to Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins with a lovely guided header into that far post. Lovely delivery from Luca Dean. And Ollie Watkins sets Villa on the way in Europe. It's 1-0 to Villa. Put them in control. Floated in, glanced towards the far side, and has it gone in? It has. And it's Ollie Watkins with his and Villa's second. Now they've taken a grip on this. Ollie Watkins latching on at the far post, heading it into the roof of the net to make it 2-0 to Aston Villa. Space for John McGinn now, inviting Luca Dean forward again on the left. Stands it up at the far post, and it's 3. It's a wonderfully worked goal. It's Leon Bailey arriving at the far post. 2-2 for him. And Aston Villa take a 3-goal lead now before half-time, and have really got a grip on the tie as a whole. Leon Bailey making it 3-0 to Aston Villa. Coverts. Sometimes it's slow and then other times it's quick. And again out to the left-hand side it goes for Luca Dean. Early ball in for Ollie Watkins for his hat-trick. Oh yes! Wonderful, wonderful cross from Luca Dean. Wonderful, wonderful finish from Ollie Watkins, although I think the flag has gone up and the celebrations will be curtailed. VAR, of course, will have a look at it. It's a goal. It stands. Ollie Watkins' hat-trick, and he can start the second half of his celebrations now. Watkins makes it 4-0. And now Villa just taking more and more control over this tie. And 1,000 or so Villa fans that have made the journey up are really having a bit of a ball. Give a Traore, lovely first touch from Villa's number 9. Traore going infield, now he's lining it up, back outdoor, and he's gone over, and it's a penalty. Twisting the defender one way, then the other, Bertrand Traore. So Douglas Luiz with a penalty to make it 5-0 to Aston Villa. Couple of side steps, and he sends the goalkeeper the wrong way and drills it home. And it's a 5-star performance from Aston Villa now.
To take it for the 4th penalty already that Wolfsburg conceded this season. Diaby would plant this wide. Stepped up and he scored his first goal from a spot kick in his Bundesliga career, and to do it in front of Germany's head coach Hansi Flick.
All right, matches from different leagues across Europe. One of the top 5 leagues in Europe, and of course you saw what happened there. Let's
from Unai Emery this time around, and what he had to say concerning the performances of the guys.
Definitely, we'll hear from Unai Emery and how he feels about his team's performance after trashing their opponent 5-0.
Our debut here in Europe again, in Conference League. Very excited. 1,000 supporters of Aston Villa, they were here with us, enjoying this moment. And of course, we prepared the match being very, very serious. That's the plan, trying to do our game plan, being strong offensively, and at the end the result was very good. I don't know exactly we decided to win 5-0, but we decided to win, and we played really first respecting them, second respecting this competition, because we want to be in the group stage, and of course we want to finish the second leg at home with our supporters, trying to be our stadium full, and doing and starting a new way here in Europe.
And was it particularly pleasing to see the players keep pushing all the way through the game, all the way to the final whistle?
Yes, we were speaking the first half to keep being consistent and trying to do our game plan in 90 minutes with some players well doing at the end being impact as well, trying to keep off with them the same speed we had the first half, and we did it. And really we have to create and to build a strong structure for the Premier League, for the FA Cup, and here in Europe in Conference League, and we are in this way. Of course, we have some players still injured, but we are going to recover slowly and progressively the players, and when we are being in the squad, everybody ready, everybody knowing our idea how we can create, like with Zaniolo as well. I think we can improve, and we have to be demanding as well to improve more.
And now important to keep this level up with the return leg next week.
Yes, now first is now to focus focus the match on Sunday in Burnley, very, very, very important after our victory against Everton, and then the second leg. And of course, we are going to try to play those 3 matches, Burnley, Hibernian and Liverpool, being in our way, trying to keep being consistent and trying to be focused to get the point we need for the Premier League, and of course to finish the second leg here with Hibernian in this competition, because to be in the group stage I think is very important.
Okay, so that's the coach of Aston Villa United, Emery, giving his thoughts about that game, and just as
games to come.
Yeah, the reporter asked there, and they said, well, let's focus on the game against Burnley. After that, they take on Albania. Then, of course, they go to Anfield to take on Liverpool. And that's like one of the biggest amongst the 3. And
now, still talking about that, let's give you weekend fixtures to expect in the EPL, as well as the La Liga, Bundesliga, and, of course, the Spanish, the France Ligue 1. Now let's get down into that one right about now. We have Chelsea would go against Luton Town today. The party starts today for the EPL week 3. Chelsea will go against Luton Town by the hour of 8 p.m. Today also matches will be spread across La Liga and Bundesliga. La Liga, Las Palmas will go against Real Sociedad, as well as Celta Vigo against Real Madrid by the hour of 8:30 p.m. tonight. And in the German Bundesliga, RB Leipzig will go against VfB Stuttgart by 7:30. Do not forget, in the France Ligue 1, we'll also have Nantes against Monaco by the hour of 8 p.m. Now on Saturday, of course, it will be a full house party for the EPL. Joseph, AFC Bournemouth will go against Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal against Fulham, Brentford against Crystal Palace, Everton against Wolverhampton Wanderers, Manchester United against Nottingham Forest, Brighton and Hove Albion against West Ham United. Tottenham Hotspur firing all cylinders, won Manchester United 2-0, right here, if I'm not mistaken. That was last weekend. Can they do this again against AFC Bournemouth?
And it is possible. They've started like a house on fire. Hopefully that fire will continue burning. But it's the Premier League. We've seen so many things happen. You can win. One of the biggest surprise for me, Premier League history, will be Portsmouth when they got relegated. After 10 matches, they were top of the table, and they went down with Kanu Nwankwo. It was that season they won the FA Cup and came to play Kano Pillars in Nigeria. So, anything is possible in the Premier League.
It's true.
Never say never. If at some point Crystal Palace was struggling and they survived. So it's the early stages, and we'll wait and see, NENGI.
Well, of course, we'll wait and see. But Manchester United will also take on Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest not too well starting in terms of starting the EPL, but we'll see how things pans out to be. Manchester United also getting to falter in how many matches so far so good, but I will wish them all the best. And for Arsenal, they've all started their campaign, winning week 1 and also week 2. And prior to the campaign start, they definitely were doing well. So we should be saying that this might be a one-way traffic for Arsenal against Fulham. Now on Sunday, the party continues. Burnley will take on Aston Villa by the hour of 2 p.m. Sheffield United goes against Manchester City by the hour of 2, and by the hour of 4:30 would have Newcastle United against Liverpool. Joseph, Newcastle United also are on a winning start. So far so good, winning in very big margins against some of those clubs. And let's see if they can be able to do this against Liverpool, because Liverpool are traveling down to St. James Park.
All right, because of time, we've run through some of the other stories that we have, but let's let you know that Gabriel Jesus will be available for selection for Arsenal against Fulham. That's the team they play, because Gabriel Jesus is back. Let me take you to Spain. FIFA has opened this night proceedings against Luis Rubiales on Thursday after the Spanish Football Federation president kissed Spain star Jenny Hermoso on the lips following the Women's World Cup last weekend. This says that FIFA said the incident may constitute violations of Article 13, paragraph 1 and 2 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code. Spain star Hermoso released a joint statement with the Union Foot Pro on Wednesday, which called for action to be taken against the ref. That's the Spanish president. And if she's joining this, what's them right now, the movement that this man should be suspended, if possible removed for life, then it means it was without her consent.
Absolutely.
I don't know what kind of celebration was that. And that is, no, you can't be doing that on the world stage. What
it doesn't matter the kind of excitement.
Is there?
It doesn't matter.
Kiss her, carry head. No, now.
Why are you thinking this one?
Yeah, if you want to do that, let it be an allegation. somewhere where nobody. But do you know how many people watching that final? And I like the cameraman. They
picked it very well.
They were with him.
Very well.
When he grabbed the head like this and held it.
Closed his eyes. I tell you, he was a passionate kid. I think it was more than just an exciting.
When you close your eyes, passionate.
Yes.
So how do you close it when you close it?
Have you? Okay. Let's leave that aside. But you know, seeing that news when it started circulating across all social media platforms, across all dailies, I knew it was going to be dragged to this extent, and definitely
that was
investigations
a costly mistake from the person.
Investigations are on. Now, moving away from that, because time is not our friend, the former Premier League referee Mike Dean failed to correct a mistake in a match to save his friend and fellow official Anthony Taylor from extra grief. Now, Dean was a video assistant referee, that's VAR, for Chelsea's 2-2 draw with Tottenham in August 2022, just before a late Hurricane equalizer. Chelsea felt they should have had a penalty after Christian Romero pulled Mark Cucurella's hair. Now, Dean acknowledged a really bad call not sending Taylor to review it. Well, we'll see how things pans out to be, because since this is on, we'll definitely get the refereeing body to make an investigation as it concerns Mike Dean and, of course, Anthony Taylor in this war. All
right, quickly, let's take it to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea has signed a teenager, Nengi. That's the situation. Chelsea has signed a teenager. A Brazilian teenager. Yeah, and that's what we understand now.
And aside from that, we also know that Aymeric Laporte has left Manchester City for Al Nassr in a 23.6 million move. Well, congratulations to him. I think the Saudi Pro League is getting what they want at this point.
A lot of stars are moving.
Absolutely. A lot of stars are moving, and they just have to. And, you know, I think this discussion is still going to last long if it's as a result of the money. Or
Mohamed Salah is also going.
But he said he won't force a move, right?
No, he won't. But in the Sky Sports, we broke the news yesterday evening that they're going all out. And of course, if you read the column released by some of the analysts, and he has traveled. He traveled last week and he came back to Anfield. We know he would leave.
And you want to even say that the performance of Mohamed Salah so far for Liverpool has dropped?
Well, it has dropped. It's been something. I started last season, wasn't as active as it was in the previous season. So the big stars are moving, and this is what Gary Neville warned about, that these stars will move. But then it's about the money. If you're in the shoes, you do the same. If I'm earning £100,000 in England and somebody says,
and I get
you give me 300, 350, what am I doing? At the end of the day, it's about the money. So it's the money for them.
Of course, and aside from that, Manchester City have completed a signing of Belgium winger Jeremy Doku from Rennes for £55.4 million. That is how it stands. And lastly, we have an update coming from Luke Shaw. Definitely is on the sidelines due to injury.
Well, it's on the sidelines due to injury. That's Luke Shaw. And aside Luke Shaw, not too good for Chelsea. Mihailo Modric has joined the list of injured players at Stamford Bridge, making it 9 first-team players.
Well, a whole lot of injuries rocking, you know, the EPL clubs. Aside from the EPL,
especially Chelsea, actually.
Especially Chelsea. And I think it's a nice one for Arsenal, because so far so good. We've had Gabriel Jesus is back and all of that. So I think it's a normal thing at the start of the season, but we do wish them quick and speedy recovery.
Let's take you back to Budapest for 4 minutes. When we come back, it will be time to wrap up the show. Some of the best that happened in the 5 and 6 in Budapest, including Toby Loba Muson's race, where she came 6th. We'll be back.
That's a big chance for Bol. There are so many Dutch in the stadium. They're on their feet. Cockrell on the outside. Shamir Little's trying to close, but Bol is away and clear here. She fell on the first night, but like the great champion she is, she has risen to conquer all. Harrison third from the right-hand side, but it's Devon Charlton who got the best start. Now she's clattered the hurdles, trying to come through. Williams running really well on the far side. Kenny Harrison trying to get in the mix. So to Camacho Quinn. It might be Williams on the far side. I've just got a feeling Williams has done it. And she has. That is incredible. Williams by 100th of a second. Hudson Smith bidding to become the first British man to win a Global 400 title for 99 years. But look at Watson. Hudson Smith is tying up. Can he hang on? The Jamaican's coming. He's closing. What a performance. But crashing to the track, Antonio Watson Cameron Rogers.
Canadians have big hopes on her, and it's a great opening throw.
Well, and it could be potentially a Canadian double after Ethan Katzenberg stormed to the men's hammer title. Rogers goes into the lead over 77 metres. The silver medalist from Eugene is the champion here in Budapest.
Tintoglu.
Last chance. It has to be 8:40 or better. The Olympic champion, the world indoor champion, silver in Eugene, needs a big one here if it's going to be another gold. Oh, that's big! And somehow, the man who always saved his best to last has done it again. Tintoglu completes his collection of global titles.
It is double gold for Alvaro Martin of Spain. The 20k champion becomes the 35k champion as well. This augurs well for Paris next year. But for now, it is a brace of golds for Alvaro Martin here in Budapest. Pintado crosses the line just some 3 or 4 seconds down. A brilliant silver for the Ecuadorian. It's a huge winning margin. She'll be more than 2 minutes clear of last year's champion Garcia Leon of Peru. It is Spain again, yet again. Gold for Spain. Marvellous race walking from Maria Perez. Wow, what a welcome for her.
Kennedy for a national record to put the pressure on. Yes! Oh, yes! Oh, yes! We may well have just seen the gold medal winning vault. She's the Olympic champion. She's the world champion. Is she about to relinquish one of these crowns? Oh, no, she's not. This isn't Hollywood. This is actually happening. This is real life. This is real competition.
They were discussing whether they should have a jump off or not, but then they decided that they will split the gold medal. Incredible.
2 champions crowned. They can hardly believe the way in which it's finished. Dos Santos is out of it. He's cleared that hurdle. Varholm and Benjamin and McMaster. Now he's away and clear. So often the champion, so often under pressure. Varholm reigns supreme again. He has successfully regained his crown. He gives the roar of delight. The Viking was under pressure, and he has delivered again. He's one of the sport's all-time greats. He does not know how to lose a race over 400 hurdles. There was pressure on that tonight from Varholm. It's not a world record, but they won't remember that. They'll just remember that they were here to see a man who ran like a god, because he really did. Look at this round the bend. Ingebrigtsen fighting to hold the inside line against the Olympic bronze medalist Josh Kerr. And Kerr's putting the brilliant Norwegian under pressure. Ingebrigtsen's not used to these positions. This would be an incredible upset, and it's going to happen again. Josh Kerr with a performance of his lifetime. Ingebrigtsen loses again. Favourites don't always win, because these are the moments that inspire greatness from everyone else. And just as Jake Whiteman did 12 months ago, Kerr has followed in his footsteps. Josh Kerr with an incredible performance of heart, belief and dedication. Paulino leading, Clarver in second, striding away from the best of the rest. The double silver medalist is about to taste the best colour of all. It's gold for Paulino. She was denied in Tokyo. She was denied in Eugene. And with a massive, massive performance and a lifetime best, she is the champion of the world.
She negotiates this carpet. She can take the...
That's her coach, Jacinto.
This is her day of days. Astonishing walking from her. 5 years after being European champion in Berlin, Germany, she becomes world champion in Budapest, Hungary, in spectacular style. And she looks like she could go round again. She cannot believe it.
The world indoor champion has one hand on the world outdoor title. That was very, very close to the board. If that's legal, that's an improvement. That is so close.
That's big.
Wow. What a card. 7:05 in round 2. How far's this going? She's got springs on her heels tonight. She really has. 7 meters 14. But Cheptegei wants the 3rd consecutive title. What a run. He's pulling away. Joshua Cheptegei with arguably the best performance of his career. The Ethiopians tried everything, but they couldn't stop him. The pride of Africa. He's roared like a lion, and so has Ibenyo. A wonderful silver for him. He overtook the Olympic champion on the line. Barega takes the bronze. What a race, and what a night here in Budapest. It's a clean start, and what a race. A huge roar from the expectant crowd. Great start from Coleman, we expect that. Can Lyles come through? It's very, very tight. It's Noah Lyles! The champion roars once more. Tobogo ran really well on the far side.
All right, some of the best moments at Budapest, and what you've seen on your screen are the best moments. Actually, you can't help, you can stay all day watching those athletes, you know, do what they know how to do best. And you listened to the commentator, what he said. He said, this is real life.
Not
this
Hollywood.
Is not a movie. And I mean, most especially at that pole vault, what those girls did. And they had to share the gold medal because the organizers did everything possible to separate these girls.
But then at the end of the day, it was still the same thing. They were just too good. And you could see they hugged each other, knowing that they are the best of the best at the tournament when it comes to the pole vault. And of course, just to add to that, Great Britain's Matthew Hudson-Smith won silver in the men's 400 meter as Jamaica's Antonio Watson raced to gold at the World Athletics Championship in Budapest on Thursday. Well, congratulations to each and every one of them. We have to run off, Joseph, but let's give a bit of information as it concerns the U.S. Open. Now, the U.S. Open is fast approaching, and the U.S. Open draws has been done. So let's see if we can give you some of the names to expect in the U.S. Open, which is going to kickstart on August 28. Now, for the first round top half, Iga Swiatek will take on Rebecca Peterson. Clevin Gune will take on Daria Savile. Lauren Davis will take on Danka Kovinish. And we also have a qualifier, Elisabetta, from that one, qualifying from definitely at the qualifiers angle. Now, Jelena Ostapenko will take on Jasmine Paolini. And, of course, much more like that. Not forgetting the likes of Petra Vitova in this one. Karolina Wozniacki also giving a wild card alongside Venus Williams. So I think we're going to have a splendid weekend. So far, so good. And we also know that they're planning on using VAR in tennis, which is a new development. Well, it's a new development, and that is what they're trying to do. Absolutely. Which might be starting from the final Grand Slam of the year, and that's the US Open. All right, we have to go, but let me chip this in. Rory McIlroy is in contention despite a back injury in the world of golf. And don't forget that the prize money